What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up? Good afternoon. This is going to be a quick live chat with you guys today. Not going to be on here too long, but I do want to cover a lot, mostly heavyweight stuff. And shout out to everybody that's here already waiting. Shout out to Josh, Fresh, BX, Night Flash, Kano. Thank you for the support, especially you, Fresh BX. Thank you for the comment. Really appreciate it. So look, we're gonna make it a quick day. I just also want to announce that I will be covering the Devin Haney, Yoka Gamboa fight this Saturday on the Zone. It's going to be on Saturday evening on the Zone, so I will be here live. You know how we do on Saturday nights, man. Every Saturday night, well, not every Saturday night, but every fight night, doing a live commentary. We always have a good time, jokes, laughs, sometimes some drinks. We're gonna have a good time, man. But I will be covering that full card, the entire card, even the undercards. I will be doing commentary all the way through on the Zone. Okay, so make sure you guys catch me on there Saturday evening. I will post, a link to the live commentary either today or tomorrow, and you guys can catch me. You guys know what's up, So this episode here, what's up? What's up, Kano? What's up, LaRock Show? Braveheart, what's up? Riley, what's going on? So let's get the drama out the way. I want to get the drama out first because I really want to focus this episode on the heavyweight division and everything. I want to talk about Fury, Usyk, and Joshua. I also want to talk about Tony Yoka, him fighting Christian Hammer, and I also want to speak on Dillian White and Povetkin in that situation. Okay, let's get the drama out of the way. Gervonta Tank Davis, multiple sources, they're coming out and saying that he possibly was involved in a hit and run accident last night in Baltimore. And look, hopefully it's not true. Let's just hope it's not true, because if it's not true, then we can just throw this all in the garbage, and anything that I say at this point doesn't even matter. All right. So hopefully it's not true. Okay. But according to multiple sources, including every major boxing source, are saying that he was involved in this accident. He was driving his black Lamborghini Urus. Okay. He went through a red light and struck another vehicle and then fled the scene. All right. There was no major injuries, so that's a good thing. All right. According to TMZ, they're saying that he was leaving a birthday celebration. We all know he's from Baltimore. We all know what happened with Errol Spence last year. Hopefully it's not true. Hopefully it's not true. But from what I read, it seems like there was no plates on the vehicle. So if that's true, with their investigation and stuff, if there's no plates, it's going to be hard to prove that it was him involved. I know they reached out to his, handlers, and they said no comment. So that's all we got for now. That's all we have. And that's why we're not going to speak on it long, because we don't really have anything yet. And what I don't want to do is address something and go deep into detail if it isn't true. All right. But what I will say is this, and I've been saying this for the last couple of years, because we all know Tank has had his back and forth with Mayweather. Since he is a TMT fighter, okay, since there's been other TMT fighters that's picked up and started their life out in Vegas, they start, they're from wherever they're from around the world, if you are part of the TMT thing and you are, if you're going to fully focus your career, especially because you're just coming off your biggest win, leave Baltimore, man. Leave Bmore. It's the highest crime-driven areas in the entire country. Leave it, man. You got to leave it. You got to leave it, man. I've been saying this about Tank and other fighters, especially these young black fighters, man. I don't want them to keep getting in trouble. You have to focus up. You just had a pay-per-view, which did pretty solid numbers from what I'm seeing, over 200 grand or $200 in buys. You know, there was a lot of boxing cards that day. You got a lot. You have UFC. You got other stuff going on. Please just leave the hood. Yo, you got friends from back in your way. Let them come meet you at where you're at. You live in, move to Vegas, dedicate your entire career to the sport. Please just stay positive. Focus your entire career solely on this sport. Because if you're gonna be the best here and you're gonna be a champion and you're gonna have pay-per-views, if you're a pay-per-view level fighter, what you are now, just focus solely on the sport, man. Just leave, be more. Stop going back there. I know when people are from the hood, they want to go back. They want to be around their people, the people they know, the people they grew up with. But those are the same kind of people that really hate on you on the low, that possibly will get you killed. I've seen it happen with plenty of people I know, people, celebrities. Just you gotta leave that lifestyle, and you gotta focus and dedicate yourself solely to the sport. Okay. So hopefully it's not true. And, if it is true, it's a shame because we know what happened to Errol Spence. Obviously, this situation is not as bad, but it could have been there, and if you're leaving a birthday party for you and you're driving, that's also a problem, because if you're drinking and stuff like that, you just want to make it home. All right. So we're going to leave it at that. And we're going to go straight into the heavyweight talk. Also, real quick, Miguel Berchelt and Oscar Valdez is going to be either postponed or canceled. Well, it's canceled for now, right? So I don't know if it's going to be postponed. I don't know what's going on. But not Oscar Valdez, Miguel Berchelt has COVID. They were due to fight really, really soon. And this is another fight that we're not going to get right now, just like the Povetkin and Dillian White fight, which I'm going to speak on later. But hopefully Miguel Berchelt recovers, have a smooth recovery. Everything should be fine with him. I'm sure everything is going to be fine. There's been plenty of boxers that has suffered from COVID this year. Hopefully he'll be okay, and hopefully we can get that fight and we can get it sometime next year or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Another fight I was looking forward to. I wanted to see, but Miguel should be all right. Just like Povetkin, he should be all right, and we can all move on from that. All right. Kano, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for always being a supporter here. Everybody, look, that most of the people here are, regulars here. I recognize all your names. Salute to everyone that's been here. Now, let's talk about heavyweights. Let's start out with Joshua, Usyk, and Fury. And the reason why I wanted to speak on this is because I just wanted to give you my views on what I personally want versus what can actually happen between these three. All right, so we know Joshua has a fight coming up with with Pulev. Okay, so he's gonna be fighting Pulev in December. Right, next month they're due to fight. All right, and we know Fury is going to be fighting as well. He's going to be fighting Caballero. All right, so that's a tune-up for him. The Joshua fight is an IBF mandatory. That is not a tune-up fight. That is a real fight. Pulev is a real top heavyweight, a proven top heavyweight. All right, he's a little older now, but whatever. It's not his toughest opponent, but it's someone that's dangerous. It's someone that's been in there with a lot of people. All right, so we have those fights, and Usyk just had his fight where he proved himself as a heavyweight against Derek Chisora. Now, Usyk is the mandatory for the WBO strap, right? We already know what he did at cruiserweight. He was undisputed and everything. What do I want in this scenario? I want Joshua against Tyson Fury. So if they both win their fights in December or whatever, I want that fight, because at least with that fight, it would prove to me who's the king at heavyweight division. All right. We know that, they both fought Klitschko. They both have wins against Klitschko. Fury has a win over Wilder now. Okay. Joshua has wins over a lot of other top heavyweights. At this point, they're number one and number two, wherever way you place them. So they need to fight. Much respect to Usyk. Nothing against him. All right. But he's just dipping his toes into the heavyweight division. I know what he did as cruiserweight. I know he's a great boxer. All right. But I think Fury and Joshua, since they are career heavyweights, they should be for undisputed. That fight should be undisputed. The whole issue is I don't think they can pay. I don't know how much the money they're gonna have to pay for Usyk to step aside, but it seems like Usyk wants to fight regardless. It seems like he's not going to step aside. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's just putting pressure on these guys and paying more. I don't know what's going on. But I don't think Usyk is the type of guy to step aside. I think he really wants it. I mean, just based on his character, his personality, I really don't think he's going to step aside. If he doesn't step aside and if he's the legit mandatory for the WBO and he's going to put pressure to make that fight, then Fury versus Joshua is not going to be undisputed. All right. If they are to fight each other, I would like them to fight each other next. 2021, no more hiccups, no more any fights in between. Usyk is a worthy opponent for Joshua. I'm not saying he isn't. But Fury has been there. He is a career heavyweight, and they both done more. And I think that would establish, as far as this generation, as far as post-Klitschko boxing, all right, it's between these two as far as who's the king of this generation of heavyweights. And that's why we need to win that. We need to see that fight. Usyk could be in that discussion if he is to fight, beat the winner of those two. But those two are proven at heavyweight. And those two need to get it on at this point. All right. So I would like Joshua and Fury, regardless if the WBO strap is involved or not. That's not about, I know undisputed, we want that title, but I want to know who's the real king. I don't care about the sanctioning bodies. I don't want the sanctioning body to get in our way of getting this fight. Leave the sanctioning bodies alone. I know historically you want to be undisputed, but like when it comes to Lennox Lewis, he didn't need John Ruiz's belt for people to know that he was the king or the man at heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just want the fight. Oh, the most of us do. I'm sure everybody wants that title, but we just want the fight. All right? So I would hope that these two fight with each other regardless, because Usyk is not only a dangerous opponent, but I just don't want any more hiccups at this point. So I would like to see that fight. I think Joshua going off to fight Usyk first. If he chooses to do it, that's his business. I don't want him to do it. But if he is to beat Usyk, beat Pulev, beat Usyk, beat his mandatories, and then go on to fight Tyson Fury, then fine. That's cool. But there's a lot of risk when it comes to that. And I'd rather just see the two main guys at heavyweight fight each other first. So that's my views. I don't know what all of these guys are going to end up doing, but that's how I look at it, and that's what I want, because these are the real heavyweights, the guys that's been there. All right? No disrespect to Usyk, but Usyk is an all-time great cruiserweight already. All right? But as a heavyweight, he got his couple wins there, but we need to see this fight. All right, so that's my stance on that. I don't think Usyk is going to back down, though, so it might not be for undisputed. But I just want to see the fight. I don't care about all that stuff. All right. Tony Yoka is fighting Christian Hammer. November 27th, I believe. Okay. Tony Yoka, I haven't made any videos about him, except for when people ask me on a live chat. He is the last heavyweight, the super heavyweight Olympic gold medalist. Okay. And from what I've seen, he's good. He's good. He had a little hiccup here in his professional career. He's been active. I think his first fight was around 2017. He was active. He beat Dave Allen. And he passed on 3 or 4 drug tests. All right. So they suspended him for a year. So he was suspended for a year. But since he's been so active, I think he's at about 7, 8 fights. He's been fighting at least like 3 times a year, which is good. So hopefully he can keep up that rate. And he's been fighting good fighters. His very last fight recently, he fought Duopaw. who's been in there with Wilder, has a reputation of having being a tough fighter, very durable fighter. And Yoka got him out of there in 1 round. All right, now Duhaupas, a lot older from when he fought Wilder at that time. And the other fighters he's faced, he's been around for a while. He's older now. So when Yoka blew him out, I think it had to do with both the fact that Yoka is a beast and due to the fact that what's his name? Duhaupas a little old. He's past it. All right. Good win. I saw the win. But Christian Hammer, I think it's a good move in the right direction. It's a good move in the right direction. Yoka's actually already ranked on BoxRec within the top 20. And he only has like 7, 8 fights. So a guy under 10 fights as a heavyweight, he's moving very quickly because of the names he has. I'm assuming that. And I like Christian Hammer in the right direction because he's not too old. And I like him as far as like compared to Duhaupas. And I like him as far as his technique. Like he can box. And even with the losses, he's been in there with a lot of people. He has losses. Yes. He recently lost to Luis Ortiz. But I was there at that fight. I was there at that fight in the Barclays. And I remember Ortiz struggled against him a little bit. In fact, I think even I do remember Hammer actually rocking him at some point in that fight. All right. So Ortiz didn't look great going into that Wilder rematch against him. And Ortiz looked great against Wilder until he got knocked out. So look, I think it's a good fight in the right direction. I think that Yoka is going to win. I think Yoka is going to possibly stop him. All right. But I think it won't be like quick and easy. It won't be against Duhaupas because, again, I think Christian Hammer is a better boxer than Duhaupas. And I would actually give him a better shot. Well, I don't know if he's going to last. I don't think he's going to last as long as Dave Allen did. But I think he's going to give him some good rounds, All right. So I am looking forward to that fight. Let me read some of the shout out to Mr. Boxing today, too. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Heavyweight Expert of YouTube. All right. So if you haven't subscribed to Mr. Boxing today, definitely subscribe to him because I go to him when I want to learn about the heavyweights. That's the guy I go to. I go to him. He knows he's legit. All right. Shout out to him. My guy. So yeah, let me just respond to some of the comments. I'm excited for Usyk, Joshua versus Usyk. Okay, so he wants to see it. And this is why I like telling you guys what I want and I also tell you what should happen. I want Joshua versus Fury first. But Usyk is 35 years old. He's trying to get in there now. I don't blame him. So this is why I always say that, even with the fights, the predictions, this is who I want to win, but this is who I think is going to win based on their boxing ability. All right. So you're always going to get both from me because I want you guys to understand, this is my bias, but this is what I think is going to happen or should happen. All right. Usyk will get stopped by Joshua, Fury, and even Dubois. I think Joshua and Fury definitely beats Usyk, in my opinion, at heavyweight. All right. And Dubois, not so sure. All right. I don't know if I'm the only one that wants to see Whyte versus Chisora. All right. You know what? Let's get into that because I wanted to speak on that. Whyte is not going to fight anyone else in between this postponement between him and Povetkin, who recently we found out was recently suffered from COVID. So I made a couple posts. I seen you guys, your comments. I read your comments. Yo, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Boxing today, man. Shout out to you and thank you for the donation, man. And enjoy yourself. I should be leaving you. I owe you. I owe you a donation, bro, because you hit 40. You're a good dude, man. Solid dude. Solid. One of the best guys out there. Solid. I owe you a donation, and I hope you enjoy your weekend. Celebrate. I'm a few years away. I'm 37. I just turned 37 not too long ago, so I'm 37 years old. I'm not too far away. But happy birthday to my brother, Mr. Boxing, today. All right, I got you, man. Enjoy your weekend and everything. All right. All right. So let's speak on Whyte, and I I think it was probably smart for Dillian White not to get into another fight. At first I was thinking, hey, you know what? You train, you prepare, maybe have a fight in between to, to shake off that loss, shake it off. But if you're gonna do that, you gotta fight someone that's safe to fight. And me bringing up Michael Hunter, that's not a safe fight. That's a real fight. That's someone you prepare for, have a full training camp for. Michael Hunter is crazy. This guy doesn't care. He has nothing to lose. He wants to fight anybody. He wants to fight guys that are top 5 popular fighters in the division for free. A guy like that, you got to really prepare for. I'm not saying Hunter would beat him, but what I'm saying is Hunter has a chance of beating him. A good one at that. All right. So I think I think these guys realize, you know what? If it's not going to be Fury, which is a win for Whyte, a big win for Whyte. If it's not going to be Fury, it's not going to be anyone. Let's have a full training camp. Let's prepare for Povetkin, but not with any pressure. Let's just prepare. Let's have camp. Let's figure a few more things out before we jump in the ring with him. Because it was kind of quick to begin with. For me to get knocked out like that and then to jump right back into a fight with him, maybe that wasn't a good idea. So I guess these guys are figuring, you know what? Let's just wait till January. We got the end of January. And that puts more on Povetkin now. Because now Povetkin is the one that he's coming off of COVID. On top of that, he has to recover. You know what I'm saying? So we got to see what's going to go on with that. I think everything's going to be okay. But yeah, man, I think it was smart for Team Whyte to do that. You don't want to get in there with a guy like, I think who else was in this? I made a video the other day. It was somebody else. There was Michael Hunter. There was Tyson Fury. And Derek Chisora 3. Okay. I personally didn't want to see it. But it was a good fight to have, I guess, for Whyte to get in the mix. To get in the mix. Hold on. Yo, I'm going to call you right back. I'm on live. All right. Yeah, so when it comes to Derek Chisora, he's coming off a loss, but he's fresh. He didn't take too much punishment, so he figures, yo, I'll get in there for a third time. I don't think it's as dangerous as a Michael Hunter fight, but it was still dangerous. And I guess these guys just figure, you know what? We don't want to take any chances here. It's still a chance. It's still dangerous. So these guys backed out, and they're going to wait till January, and they're going to prepare without any pressure. So that's cool. That's cool, especially when the end goal here for Whyte is WBC champion. That's his end goal. Like that's been the plan. All right. So I'm gonna respond to you guys, man. I pretty much made a point I wanted to make today. So I want to just respond and read some of you guys' comments. Shout out to everybody that's here. Yo, hit that like button if you haven't already. If you're in here, tune in to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that like button for me. All right. So yeah. Chisora was really good against Usyk, like he improved a lot. I don't think so. I actually think Chisora could have been better. I think Chisora didn't work behind his jab. This is what I said in my post-fight review of the fight. I think if he worked behind his jab a little bit more, because there was times he did it, I think if he did that, he would have won. I heard, I saw a post like on social media that Dillian White said Chisora would have won if he had a better corner or something like that. Now, I'm not going that far, but what I'm saying as far as a game plan, I think Chisora came out winging out, loading up on too many shots early, the first 2 rounds, and I think it burned him out because he weighed so much. He looked so heavy. He looked so slow, and I think he burned himself out. But I like when he was working behind the jab, setting up the shots. I also like how he kept switching from lefty to righty. I like that. Like, I like that. But the thing is, he was so burned out and he was so heavy and slow that it kind of messed itself up. You know, if he had boxed and worked instead of chasing and lunging, if he had done more of that, I think he actually could have won, or at least made it more debatable. Because I had it around 8 rounds to 4, now maybe 9 rounds to 3. I don't remember what I scored it exactly on the live commentary I did, but it was competitive. It's just that it wasn't enough from Chisora. You know, I think Chisora, and I think people need to remember, you know, and I told this, so I read a comment by saying somebody told me something about, oh, he fought Usyk, Chisora. He had one of the best performances against Chisora. And I'm like, no, he didn't. I mean, do we remember what Klitschko did to him? Do we remember what David Haye did to him? Do we remember what Dillian White did to him in a rematch? Do we remember what Tyson Fury did to him in a rematch? There's other fighters out there. I mean, even the Pulev fight, I think Pulev was a little bit better. I thought Pulev was consistently landing harder shots. And these are all against a younger Derek Chisora. Now, if you want to make the argument that Chisora is better now than he was back then, I mean, that's on you. But I think a younger, fresher Chisora is still better in my opinion. My opinion. I know he's been coming in looking in great shape, and that's great. That's great. But I would take a fresher opponent. I think some of these other wins that we've seen, I would take those wins over this particular win. All right, Usyk, who looked good, but he noticeably slower at heavyweight. You know, I think the speed is not there. I think as a cruiser, I honestly think, you know, I know he wants to be a bigger guy, but I honestly believe that he needs to cut down a little bit. All right, I think he should be physically, his body should be a little bit tighter, because he's always going to be small. But what you want to keep is that speed, you know. And I think when he fights a Joshua or Fury or whoever he ends up fighting, I think at that point you're going to be smaller anyway. So what you want to work on, you're going to be the mover. So you want to be able to slip shots quicker and counter quicker. Usyk needs to be quick. I watched him for a long time now. He needs to be quick. He's going to always move. He was a mover at cruiserweight. He's going to always be that guy. When he was fighting Glowacki and Huck and all of these guys at cruiserweight, Breedis, all these guys, he needs to have a pep in his back. He has to be light on his feet. He looks noticeably slower as a heavyweight. So I think he needs to just focus on him being in his best fitness shape moving forward. That's just me. Being bigger, yeah, you might be able to absorb the punches better, but the whole point of Usyk is being able to make his opponent miss and burn them out with his quickness and his reflexes. That's how I feel about Usyk. All right? Chisora is a good fighter, but Joshua top 2. Absolutely. And Joshua is still fresh. All right? I think Dubois wants Usyk. He probably does. Dubois wants anybody coming up. You know, he's hungry. He wants anybody. He wants anybody right now. You know? Who won the election? I don't know. But it looks like it's going to be Biden probably. Agreed. Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua is the big fight. Yes, the next big fight. Absolutely. And it'll solve the bigger question on who is the king in this generation. AJ was saying he hasn't paid all these sanctioning fees to drop a belt, but I agree. Let's make AJ versus Fury quick as possible. Absolutely. That fight definitely needs to happen. You know, I think after Whyte rematch, Povetkin will most likely retire. Yeah, probably. If he is to lose, that is. If he loses. Maybe if he wins too. I don't know. Because I think if he wins, he's already in position for the WBC strap. But he would have to wait a whole nother year before he gets that fight. Because if Joshua and this guy, Fury, fight each other, he's going to have to wait after their 2 fights. Lennox dropped that strap so he could fight Michael Grant, who was undefeated and looked to pundits to be the next big thing. I like the move by him back then. Yeah. Drop the strap. No, we know who Lennox was. Lennox was that dude. At the end of the day, he was a dude. He was the guy. We don't care if you're holding, whether or not you're holding all four. At the time, you got to drop a strap. It happened all the way throughout the 90s. All the way through. People lost belts, but they went on to fight who they were to fight. We missed a few good ones here. A few good ones we didn't get. But for the most part, we got what we got, you know, and don't worry about the straps. Make the fight. Make the right fight before you end up losing and we all have another Joshua Andy Ruiz situation. We don't want another one of those situations. At least I don't. I don't. As a boxing fan, I know. I need someone to secure the biggest win at heavyweight at this point. At this point. All right. We already got Fury and Wilder. They already had their thing. All right. Now that we're not getting a third one right now. All right. Well, we're not getting that. Well, we need to secure this. Let's at least secure this. And if Fury is to beat Joshua and twice, Fury is no doubt a legend at this point. Because you beat Klitschko, you dethroned him, you have win over Wilder, and then you will have a win over Joshua. It's nothing else for us to say if he does win. What happened to Gerald Miller? Well, he popped 30 leading up to the Joshua fight, and then he popped 30 again. He had signed with Top Rank. He was supposed to fight earlier this year. And he was supposed to be one of the early pre-COVID or post-COVID fights. And then I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen with the situation because I think promoters, major promoters, are afraid to touch him right now. Yeah, so that's what happened. Good to see Hammer healthy. He could fight Allen because he had COVID. Okay. But I'm pretty sure he hasn't fighting for a while. All right. Duhaupas' best win is in Helenius KO. Yeah, speaking about Helenius, I seen that they are working on the Adam Konowski rematch. So they're working on putting that together. They should definitely have a rematch. Adam should definitely get his shot because he was the guy that was on the come up. He's actually coming up to be one of the top heavyweights. And for him to get knocked out, people weren't expecting it. I didn't go to the fight. I know I was thinking about going to that fight. I did speak on it. It was here in Brooklyn. Konowski is Polish, but he's been out of Brooklyn for a long time. And I was going to go to the fight. I missed the fight, but the reaction was crazy, you know, for him to get knocked out. I think it's safe to say, even if he is to win the rematch, Adam just can't keep taking these punches, you know. And when you're one of those type of fighters where you're just coming forward and you're taking a lot of shots in order to give them, it's going to catch up to you at some point. You know, because he fought Areola. That was a war. Did I go to that fight? I think I went to that fight. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Fought Areola, war. Fought Charles Martin, war. He takes a lot of punches. He takes a lot. You know, and especially against Charles Martin, because Charles Martin was backing him up at times. Charles Martin would have his way in the first round or in one round for a full minute. And then Adam will just come back and blitz Charles Martin. That was a great fight. So I'm glad that they're getting that rematch going because I was very shocked by that. And make sure you guys hit that like button if you are tuning in. Just hit that like button for me. Thank you. But yeah. All right. So you got Yoka. Mr. Boxer today says, I got Yoka over Hammer. Yoka got to watch out for the sneaker hammer. Overhand writes. So you got him by unanimous decision. Yeah, I think I have Yoka by knockout, but I think it's not going to be an early one. I think he's going to, I think he's going to get it, but I don't think it's going to be an early one. Usyk should go against Hunter or Whyte next or something just so he could prove he's ready for the heavyweights. I mean, well, Chisora was supposed to be that fight. He's proven to me that he's a heavyweight. But he's already the WBO mandatory. He's not going to prove anything else. What he proved was what he did as a cruiser. What he did as an amateur and what he did as a cruiser. So now he's already in position for a title. He's not going to need to prove anything else. So we'll see how that works. All right. Well, if they vacate the belt, if Joshua vacates the belt, then he's going to have to fight somebody else at heavyweight before he fights Joshua or Fury, you know? All right. Kano, you in your 50s. All right, yo, I can never tell when I get comments. You know, I have a really a large variety. Like when I look at the analytics, you know, I got people from ages over 60, you know, most of my following is guys in between, you know, 30s and the up to their 60s, you know, but mostly 30s. You know, I have a lot of guys that's in the 20s and some in the teens, but mostly 30s, you know, more and more of a mature group, you know. But shout out to the youngers, the youngins that's here too. All right. Whyte should fight Bum Squad next. Well, I don't think Whyte is going to fight Dillian. I mean, I don't think I know Whyte would want that fight, but I don't think Wilder would want Whyte at this point. You know, I just don't think so. I think Wilder, whenever he comes back, he's probably going to stay PBC. There's a lot of fights to be made over there. You know, this hopefully is not another like rematch or a trilogy. You know, hopefully it's somebody fresh, someone that we will want to see him face. Wilder might be done with boxing. Yeah, he might be. All right. So let me breeze through these things, man. I know you guys have been leaving a lot of comments. I'm just trying to catch up a little bit because you guys are leaving some good stuff here. Joshua has stamina problems. Well, he did. I think he proved with his new preparation in that Ruiz rematch that he doesn't really have stamina capacity. I think he learned how to pace himself in that rematch. You know what I'm saying? Even with the pressure. Yeah. I don't understand what's the problem with Wilder. It's almost like a year after Fury fight and he's still making excuses. I mean, listen, I covered it. I really don't want to go into Wilder at this point, but it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. Hunter beat Povetkin. Should have gotten the first fight. I mean, yo, you know what? Somebody else left a comment the other day. Shout out to Sports Talk with Troy. I think I covered that fight live. And I'm interested in going back to my own video and seeing how I scored it. But I felt like it might have been a fight for Hunter. I think I might have scored it 7 rounds to 5 for Hunter. But it was like a really like anybody's fight thing. So when I heard draw, I kind of expected that. It was too close to call. All right. I wasn't mad at the draw, I'll tell you that. But I think I actually did score it 7 rounds to 5 for Hunter. All right, from what I remember about the fight is that I felt like Hunter was definitely doing more work, but Povetkin would really hurt him anytime he landed clean. You know, I felt like every time Povetkin landed clean, that Hunter was going to go down, you know, if he didn't, you know, tie up. Hammer's fighting Tony Yoka, Lamarion. All right. D, thank you for the super chat. In no way it's harder than Santa Cruz. Call me crazy. There's nowhere way to prove that, man. I mean, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But I don't know. I can't even make that argument because Leo is like 3 weights above him at this point. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You know, I don't think Leo's ever been a top hard hitting guy. He's more of a volume puncher, but I don't know if that's true. I don't know. You know, we'll see. You know, Leo's been fighting above bantamweight for a very, very long time. So I really don't know. Boxing today, BoxingWave live stream needs to happen. You know what? That is one of the very few channels that I would go live with. Absolutely. You know, you know what? If I don't know if Boxing Today, you still here, I'll definitely would be interested in doing a live with him anytime. I mean, he's one of the OGs of YouTube and one of the most mature channels out there. So I would definitely go live and speak, boxing, talk boxing with him. Definitely. That's my guy. Hard to believe I'm 37 years old. Yeah, I figured people was gonna say that when I said that. Yeah, so I've been around a little bit. I like Southpaw Chisora, by the way. I like the fact that he's switching it up, not staying as a Southpaw, but I like the fact that he's switching up because he was definitely getting his shots in. Shout out to Cano Loco. Make sure you guys subscribe to him as well. All right, I recently subscribed to him, checking out his stuff. He has some good stuff. And Cano, are you from New York? I don't know. I was watching you the other day and I feel like I got this whole New York. I know you're Puerto Rican. I know. I just felt like I got this whole New York vibe from you. Like I felt like you from the Bronx or something. I don't know if you are. I could be wrong, but you just give me that whole New York vibe to me. So I was watching your video the other day and I was thinking about that. All right, let me know in the comments. I think Usyk beats Andy Ruiz easy. You know what? I have Usyk beating Andy Ruiz too. I think Andy Ruiz will get outboxed by Usyk. I think so. I think Andy Ruiz will beat other people if he's on his best day. But I think Usyk would get him. I think Usyk would beat him on points. Yeah, you ain't got to knock dudes out at heavyweight. Outbox him. Ali did. Yeah, you don't. You don't. I don't care what you say. Usyk is very feel. I'm not understanding that. All right. Cano, yo, thank you. Thank you for the support, man. Who do you think the king is, Fury or Joshua? I'm waiting. No, I don't know who the king is. All right. So this is the way I look at it, and I've always looked at it. You guys, if you've seen my stuff before, I've said this before. I like Joshua's resume better because he's consistently fighting top fighters. When you remove Wilder and Klitschko out of Fury's resume, it's really not good. I think the next best fighter down from there is Chisora. So Wilder, on the other hand, is just a long list of guys of top 10 heavyweights. It's a long list of them. So, even the fact that he fought a guy that beat him in the amateurs, Dillian White, and knocked him out. And White went on to accomplish and beat a lot of good fighters, including Joseph Parker. If you go to BoxingWave, if you look at Anthony Joshua's resume, from top to bottom, is solid. So I like Joshua. I prefer Joshua's resume, but I like the fact that Fury dethroned Klitschko, and I also like the fact that he has a win over Wilder. All right? So I think they need to fight. I don't even need to have this debate. We need to see who is the king by them facing each other. All right? Sweet Science, what's good, man? Everything is good. Fury has a weird movement to me. I don't think he moves weird, but I don't think that Fury moves weird. I think it looks weird because of his body and his figure. He's very tall and he's like a little over. He's a little chubby around the waist. He has, really, really long arms, but they're like fat here. It's his body shape. I think it throws off. But the way he moves fantastic. He's a very fluid boxer. I think he's the most fluid boxer up at heavyweight. Like, it looks natural with him. You ever attend a Kaunaki fight? I have, but I think he was on the undercard. I'm not sure if I went to the Chris Arreola fight, but I've been there. I've seen Kaunaki fight at least twice on the undercard. Somebody's undercard, and I can tell you, the Polish community in Brooklyn or wherever they're from, they come out heavy. They are out there heavy. In the Barclays, they come out to support him heavy. Even from Farah. I think Farah might have had a fight in Brooklyn. Even them, they come out. They definitely support their fighters. Big time. But there is a huge Polish population in Brooklyn. You know, so they do come out. All right. Yo, Weebay, thank you. Yeah, actually, I'm fresh out of the barbershop. I just got home from the barbershop not too long ago. So yeah, I did get a cut, and I'm gonna grow is we're in the winter, so I think I'm gonna grow the beard out a little bit. All right. Hunter versus Ortiz. Yeah, I would love to see that. But speaking of Luis Ortiz, he fights this weekend, right? There is a Showtime or a PBC card, Fox card. I'll let you guys know tomorrow because I am gonna jump on live tomorrow, and I am gonna do. And guys, hit that like button, man. You guys, let's get to at least over 50 likes here. I'm gonna do a live tomorrow because I gotta speak more on Devin Haney and the fights this weekend. I am gonna do live commentary Saturday evening, so be here to check me out. But I'm not happy with Luis Ortiz's opponent. Okay, I think he's running out of time. And the fans, and I'm a big Ortiz fan, the fans got to get somebody else in there. We can't just have him being all about him losing to Wilder because that's what it's starting to look like, you know. And if we're going to continue saying Wilder beat this guy, we need to be able to say, like, well, Ortiz fought all these other guys and he's getting older. We want to see another Ortiz fight, like a real fight against a top heavyweight. I've always said Povetkin. I've always been wanting to see that fight. You know, both good amateurs, both good professionals. Obviously, Povetkin accomplished more as an amateur and as a pro, but they're both 40 plus, and I want to see that fight. I've always wanted to see it. It's just one of those fights that I've always wanted to see, and it always comes up. So I would like that. But Hunter or whoever, they're all good. They're all good. All right. I'm trying to catch up, but you guys are dropping comments really, really, really quick. Usyk would outbox and embarrass Deontay Wilder. Yeah, I actually think Usyk's chances of beating Wilder are greater than Joshua and Fury. I think he struggles against those two. I don't know if he beats Wilder. I'm not going to go back that far, but I think being that Wilder is so good at what he's good at doing, but he's very limited. And I think Usyk will figure that out. But the thing about Usyk still gets hit. Like, let's not act like Usyk, and it's not just heavyweight Usyk. I'm saying in general, Usyk still gets hit. He still gets hit. You know what I'm saying? So if he gets hit with a right hand, he's gonna go down. So yeah, Usyk might be winning, but if he catches one, and he's done. All right. So I think if that fight were to happen, I see Usyk winning by decision, but I see Wilder possibly winning by knockout. All right. I just think when it comes to Fury or Joshua, I can see them beating Usyk on points or by knockout. Well, I think Deontay Wilder will become champ again. He is going to have a tough road to get back to the mix. I don't see it right now, to be honest. I don't see it right now unless Cano, thanks for answering my question. In Florida, I have to give credit to Mini Max Boxing. He is how I found you. Oh, okay. That's my guy, man. I shout out to Mini Max Boxing. I love that kid. He's real cool, man. And I love that kid, man. He has great knowledge and he's so young, man. So anyway, I think he would become champion if, depending on the outcome of Joshua and Fury, and if Wilder is to win the next couple of fights he has in between those two fighting each other, it still would be a big fight if Wilder is to collect a couple wins. And, you know, depending on what Usyk's situation is too, if Wilder can get up a couple of wins, a couple of nice wins this year, I can see him facing the winner of Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. If it's not Usyk and there's no like mandatory situation going on, I can still see that fight happening in the future. Because if Wilder is to come back and do his thing, he can put himself right back in position. And people will just still be a demand for a Fury 3 or a Wilder Joshua fight. Definitely. So in that scenario, yes. Yes, but not until 2022, the earliest. The earliest. You know? All right. I've been to a couple of Kanowski fights, and what you said is exactly why I brought that up. Last time I saw Kanowski was Berto Alexander fight on the island, and they were packed going crazy for Kanowski. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? We miss going to fights this year. You know, you guys know I like going to fights. I've met a lot of you, you know, a lot of subscribers at the fights. I still said this, and I said this last year. One day I do want to have, you know, a meetup, you know, before the fight. You know, we all meet up, link up. If you're from New York area, you know, if you're, or at least if you're coming to a fight in New York, or if I travel to go see a fight in the future, I want to start having meetups, you know, a meet and greet with some of the subscribers before we go into the building and watch the event. That would be really, really great. Always wanted to do that, but I'm serious about doing it when things open back up and we start having cards like normal cards. Definitely going to do a meet and greet, you know, especially in Brooklyn. I already decided where spot is going to be in. And I will definitely do a meet and greet with you guys in the future. All right. So I'm trying to catch up, but you guys are still slingshot in the comments. I low key look like Adrian Brona. Yeah, I've boxed before, but I've never been like I've boxed before, but I've never been. I grew up in a martial arts family. You know, my father's, my uncle, my father, my uncles, all martial arts from the age of 4. You know, I got plenty of pictures. You know, I fought on a tournament level when I was a kid. My father used to be a teacher, mainly taekwondo, taekwondo, but only up until like before college. You know, I didn't go that far with it, but from the age of 4 all the way up, I have a couple weapons. I do have weapons here. I did use nunchucks, sayas. My dad's a big guy. He has a lot of weapons at home at his house. You know, maybe we'll talk. Maybe one day we'll talk about that growing up. But yeah, I'm a martial arts head. You know, back then. It's been years now. It's been like 20 years since I stopped. But I grew up in a martial arts household. But I was always a boxing fan. But I was an MMA fan too, and I used to do MMA videos. I don't do many of them no more. But yeah. Soccer, I seen your comment. I'm not really into talking about other channels like that unless it's positive, you know. So if it's not positive, I'm not even gonna mention them. You know, I see where you're going with it. You know, I don't really want to say anything unless it's positive, you know. But you know, I hear you. Charles Martin versus Whyte. That's a good fight. I like Charles Martin. You know, he's a god that walks the earth. So how can you not like him? If I'm ever in Florida area, let me know. I can get you in any gym down here. Shit. Thank you. Yeah, I go to Miami mostly time, but I do go to Florida every couple years or so. All right. So anyway, all right. So last question here, last comment. Then I gotta check out. I have met plenty of boxers. I've told plenty of stories on here of some of the boxers I have met. When the opportunity comes and their name comes, sometimes I tell the story. But to be honest, when I go to the events, I actually don't pull out my camera. I like to speak to them directly without a camera in their face. It gives them more comfort. So when we have conversations, I keep them private. All right. I met plenty of boxers, and I kind of keep it like what we talk about. We just keep it here. I don't unless it's something that's like kind of out there. But there's plenty of fighters that's told me things that I just don't say on camera. because I'd rather just have a one-on-one with them. So I don't rush to pull out my camera because I'm not really a media channel. It's just not really my thing, you know. Sometimes I think about doing it and try to get, you know, passes to go. But honestly, I like just talking boxing. Like I like doing commentary, but I don't want to become like a media channel. Now I might start doing interviews here, you know, more interviews. I have done some in the past, but I might do more. But I'm not that. You know, I just like to meet them and kick it with them. You know, usually it'll be at a fight, maybe it'll be at a party. I've partied and had drinks with some of these guys, but I keep whatever happens between me and them. You know, not everything needs to be said on here, and I think a lot of the channels on YouTube, you know, I feel like they start using the fighters because they want the exclusive, or sometimes they are professional interviews, but sometimes they're not. And sometimes things are said on their channels that shouldn't really have been said, you know. That's just my opinion. All right. I would do a collab with Showbiz. I would definitely do a collab. Shout out to Showbiz the Adult. All right. He's probably the biggest channel right now. You know, as far as just maybe not as far as subscribers. I think he's the biggest channel as far as real subscribers, like not media channels. I mean, like YouTubers. Like he's a YouTuber first. You know, he does a little interviews and some media here, but he is a YouTuber. And I think guys like a YouTuber, guys that are, you know, have like a podcast, guys, I think he's one of the major guys as far as guys that just came up through YouTube, you know, not guys that's in the game like Teddy Alex has a huge podcast. But it didn't take long for him to gain subscribers. I think as far as guys like him, guys that's talking like me, guys that's on here that's just talking boxing, fans, as far as fans, I think he's one of the biggest channels. You know, he's not everybody's cup of tea, but I think he's one of the best ones out there. You know, he's not everybody's cup of tea, but he's one of the best ones out here. Much credit to him. All right. All right. So both of y'all in Bias Chat, and are you a big? Oh yeah, absolutely. I am a big anime fan, and Death Note is is my top 2 animes all time, and I love these my old Dragon. This is my wall of anime right here. These are old DVDs. Obviously, I don't buy them anymore, but you know, you can just stream anime now. But these are back. Some of these DVDs are back from as old as like the early 2000s, you know, before Blu-ray. There's a lot of box sets here. Yeah, so I am a big anime fan. But anyway, Attack on Titan is actually my number 1. All right, I got to get out of here. Attack on Titan has actually became one of my favorite animes. All right, it might even have passed Death Note. All right. But maybe, you know, one day I'm gonna go on live and we're gonna talk about everything that I like outside of boxing. Outside of boxing. We'll talk anime, we'll talk music, you know, hip hop. You know, people have been wanting me to do a hip hop video. We'll talk about a lot, man. But I got to get out of here, man, and get my day going. I will probably be on here live tomorrow, maybe in the afternoon sometime, to talk more about some of the things coming up and the fights this weekend. And also make sure you guys definitely tune in this Saturday for the Devin Haney versus Yuriorkis Gamboa live commentary, right? No fight footage. All right? We just do commentary and we'll have a good time. So definitely tune in then, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and hit me up on the Instagram and the Twitter. Hit me up on both, because I am active on both now, especially Twitter, because Twitter I was never really active with it. But if you have questions or you want to chat with me directly, hit me on both. BoxingWave 10 at BoxingWave 10. And appreciate all the donations. You know, all the donations has been solid. Thank you. Arlette, what's up? How you doing? Rest in peace, Sean Connery. Definitely. All right. Mighty, what's up, man? From New Zealand. Sam, thank you. Kings, thank you. You know, shout out to everybody supporting, man. All right. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow. So I'll be in the chat with you. I got a few more videos I wanted to do before the weekend. All right. So I'll see you guys later. I'm out. Peace.